Plemex!
Hatod sa Indo, kan DZGB, ang programang magtataon ng impormasyon, mapadapit sa pagmakulog, asin tamang pagkataman, kan kapalibutan, mga isyu na ipapaliwanag, mapadapit sa mga dapat gibuhon, sa pagpreserbar kan sa tuyang pinag-eero kanakinaban, mga istoryang daraan pag-asa, asin may mensahe na ang problema kan kapalibutan, igwaning solusyon, asin kayang-kaya ta.
Wala ka bang napapansin sa iyong mga kapaligiran?
Boses kan kapalibutan. Boses kan kapalibutan. Ika, ako, asin kita gabos. Kaya niya to na pakarhayon ang sa tuyang pinag-eerokan na luway-luway ng nadadanyaran. Kayang-kaya ta ini kung kita sarabay na magtatarabangan sa paagi kan pagdango kan boses kan kapalibutan.
Bakit di natin pag-isipan ang nangyayari sa ating
Magdangog na sa tuya ini. Magpartisipar ang boses, mahalaga kapalibutan, padabaon ta. Boses kan kapalibutan, kaiba kada Sabado. Si Mardela asin Father Momoy Brumeo, digdi sa DZGB, ang sa indong kadamay.
Ang mga duming ating ikinalat sa hangin, sa langit, huwag na nating paabutin.
Putol ng kahoy kahit iligal. Buhay ng mamamayan ang isinusugal. Kung kaya't nang maningil na ang inang kalikasan, libo-libong buhay ang inutang. Basura ay itinatapon kahit saan, kaya't marumit mabaho ang kapaligiran. Kung di natin iingatan ang ating kalikasan, tayo ay papalapit sa katapusan. Malayo na rin niya ang narating ng agham, nakamta ng pagunlad na inasam. Ngunit anong kapalit ng modernisasyon? Di ba't pagkasira ng paligid at polusyon? Winawasak ang gubat at mga kabundukan, makamtan lamang ang sariling kapakanan. Anong silbi ng pangarap na kaunlaran? Kung lumad ay katutuboy, wala ng tirahan. Ang bawat isa
Mga tugang, good morning po
ay
sa inyo ka, boss.
pananampalataya.
Welcome po sa programa. Aramo niya to. Boss, nga palibutan ko niya po aldaw ni Sabado. Nandiyan ba si Pader? Wala pa si Pader, no? Busy si Pader, may mga bigas si kaso po sa ibang parte kang Pilipinas.
Napapansin
Kaya kita ko na wari ba? Ako po ang sinulingkod, Mardila, daing iba, salit sana, pero tiyan.
ka pa
Hanggang 11 lang po kita sa mga impormasyones na mga istorya. And ipagpapadagos na po mga tugang, itong mga pangyayari kanakaagi pong duwang aldaw na Renewable Energy and Investment Summit na giniba po dyan sa sa hotel dyan sa itaas. Ano ang hotel yan? Ha? Ano yan? Kanakaagi pong simana, Friday and Saturday, ginibo po itong duwang aldaw na Energy and Investment Summit sa The Oriental Hotel. So, may mga nadago na kita kanakaagi, and nagaigwa na po nin pagpresentar na igwa po mga tugang nin nakonsigir. Kumbaga may nag-pledge na, nangako na mga tugang na mga investors na sinda, ma-venture sinda mga tugang sa sa renewable energy sa Albay, matapos na mahiling mga tugang sa presentasyon kan gobyerno provincial sa pagi po ni provincial administrator, provincial planning and development officer Arnold Onrubia. So 84 billion pesos na RE pledges para po sa 1,250 na megawatts of renewables. Yan. Pero ano man ang ganda talaga, sabi, dakulunong po kitang potensyal di po sa Albay. Particularly sa wind and the solar energy. So may mga na-identify ba kitang pinangaranan ka nag-agi Sabado, pati kan mga bareta nato kan Monday na San Miguel Island sa Tabaco, pagkatapos igwa mga tugang sa Daraga, sa Piduran, sa Tiwi. Yan, mga potential, mga tugang na pwedeng bugtakan. Daw, aramon tangon yan, mga tugang na aldaw, tingon niya na Sabado, itong pig-apon na roadmap, roadmap kang probinsya ng Albay para po sa renewable energy. Tadigdi, i-highlight mga tugang ni, ni Sir Arnold na Onrubia, ito po na mga dakul na potensyal kan Albay para sa comprehensive solar and wind resource maps na piga-identify po itong mga key areas for RE development. Kaibanan po ang siyudad kan Tabaco, Ligao, munisipyo kan Daraga. Ini mga areas na ini rekonosido mga tugang nin halangkaw na solar irradiance. Yan, halangkaw ang harvest dyan, making them ideal locations for solar farm development. Okay, so yun po yan. Sabi ninda, mga tugang San Miguel Island and Tabaco City, yun po na may dakula na potential for solar farms dalam po sa high solar irradiance levels. Hindi ni man minataong position mga tugang sa Albay para sa pangingenot sa renewable energy generation sa nasyon. Okay, so ito po, tabi ready na si OIC Provincial Planning and Development Officer Sir Arnold Onrubia.
Good morning, everyone. I'm so thrilled and excited to share with you the roadmap for the province of Albay renewable energy, particularly the initial exploration potential RE projects in the province of Albay. Can we flash the presentation, please? Flash on the screen is the outline of my presentation. I'm gonna share about the solar and wind resource maps for the province of Albay, site identification process on the best locations for solar farms, a case in point for the cities of Tabaco and Ligao, and the municipality of Daraga, as well as best locations for solar farms, province of Albay, and I'm gonna share illustrative RE project 1 megawatt solar farm in Barangay Hacienda, San Miguel Island, Tabaco City. And I'm gonna share analysis of potential solar farms in San Miguel Island, Tabaco City, Albay, and next steps for an investor or developer and list of potential projects. Flash on the screen is a map for the resource map of solar. This map shows the distribution of solar irradiance across the province of Albay. It may be seen that the solar irradiance is a measure of the solar power available per unit area and is crucial in assessing the potential for solar energy generation. We can see here, my friends, that the areas colored red to dark red have high levels of solar irradiance. And the coastal areas and lowlands having high levels of solar irradiance of around 5 kilowatt hour per square meter per day are the high value areas for solar farms. Nasa coastal area po pala ang suitable sites for solar. On the other hand, This map shows the distribution of wind speeds across the province of Albay. The color represents wind speed intensity, with dark shades signifying higher wind speeds. The areas of higher elevation generally have higher potential for wind farms in Albay. However, these are volcanoes and outside the scope of renewable energy development. The eastern part of Rapu-Rapu Island has a good value of wind speeds at around 7.49 to 8.99 meters per second. So, these are the solar farm site identification for the city of Tabaco using GIS. Number 1, we exclude areas not suitable for solar farms, those with existing land use or built-up areas and roads with a specified buffer distance, and those with land features not suitable for solar farms, forests, rivers, and protected areas. Number 2, we identify areas with suitable features, such as areas with high intensity of solar irradiation, flat areas or those with moderate slope, 5 degrees or less, and for sloping areas, those that are facing south or near south are preferred aspect. And number 3, we apply the above exclusion and suitability criteria in combining the data layers to identify sites with high potential for solar farms in the city of Tabaco. So, this is the base map. The figure shows an administrative map of the city of Tabaco. The map shows the city's boundaries with its neighboring LGUs and its component barangays. The map also is a digital elevation model that shows the elevation of ground points in meters, with the area near the center of Mayon volcano being the highest point. The lower elevations are in the city's coastal areas and the barangay in San Miguel Island. The coastal areas and San Miguel Islands are relatively flat lands compared to the slopes of Mayon volcano. And now, for the exclusion, the map shows the land cover of the city of Tabaco with various land features as indicated in the legend. The areas with land cover features are excluded from the potential sites for solar farms. And another exclusion are the regions with a distance of 100 meters or less from built-up areas from the potential solar farm sites. And with a distance of 50 meters or less from rivers are also excluded from the potential solar farm sites. And regions with a distance of 100 meters or less from roads are also excluded from the potential solar farm sites. As for the suitability, this map shows the intensity of the solar energy resources in the city of Tabaco using the global horizontal irradiance in units of kilowatt-hour square meter per day. The range of solar irradiance values is indicated using the color range in the legend. Areas with frequent cloud cover, such as those on the slopes of Mayon volcano, have lesser solar irradiance. And San Miguel Island has consistently have high values of solar irradiance, typical for areas very near the coastline and on small islands. And the areas with minimal slopes, such as 5 degrees or less, are preferred for the potential solar farm sites. As for the aspect indicates where slopes are facing. In the case of the city of Tabaco and the rest of the Philippines being in the northern hemisphere or above the equator, slopes that face south are preferred over those that face other directions. The least preferred are slopes that face north. The slopes that face north. Now, applying the exclusion and suitability criteria, sites with high potential for solar farms in the city of Tabaco are identified in the map as flashed on the screen. So the potential PV sites using the global horizontal irradiance at 4.5 kilowatt per hour per square meter per day. And the sites with high potential for solar farms are in San Miguel Island. The land area of the high potential sites is 719 hectares. Sites with high potential for solar farms in Tabaco City mainland. The land area of the high potential sites is 897 hectares. Now, for the solar farm site identification for the city of Ligao using GIS, flash on the screen are the criteria. We just apply the same methodology. Number one, we exclude areas not suitable for solar farms. We identify areas with suitable features and apply the above exclusion and suitability criteria in combining the data layers to identify the sites with high potential for solar farms in Ligao City. The same methodology. So this is the base map of Ligao, administrative map rather of the city of Ligao, and this map shows the city's boundaries with its neighboring LGUs and its component barangays. The same, the lower elevations are in the city's inner flatlands and the coastal areas. So this map shows the land cover of the city of Ligao with various land features as indicated in the legend. The areas with land cover features are excluded from the potential sites of solar farms. And the same methodology, the regions with distance of 50 meters or less from rivers are excluded from the potential solar farm sites. And the same, regions with a distance of 100 meters or less from roads are excluded from the potential solar farm sites in Ligao City. And now, as for the suitability, this map shows the intensity of the solar energy resources in the city of Ligao using the global horizontal irradiance in units of kilowatt-hour per square meter per day. And the range of solar irradiance values is indicated using the color range in the legend. Areas with frequent cloud cover, such as those on the slopes of Mayon volcano, have lesser solar irradiance. And the same with Tabaco, the coastal barangays are the areas with relatively higher available solar resources. And for the suitability, the same methodology, areas with minimal slopes such as 5 degrees or less are preferred for the potential solar farm sites as flashed on the screen. And the aspects indicates where slopes are facing, with the city of Ligao and the rest of the Philippines being in the northern hemisphere above the equator. Slopes that face south are preferred over those that face the other directions. And the least preferred are slopes that face north. The same. Applying the exclusion and suitability criteria, sites with high potential for solar farms in the city of Ligao are identified in the map. So this is the map showing the application of exclusion and suitability criteria. As for the potential sites for Daraga, the same process is used to identify sites with high potential for solar farms in the cities of Tabaco and Ligao. Applying the exclusion and suitability criteria, sites with high potential for solar farms in Daraga are shown in the map. As for the potential sites for the whole province of Albay, the same process is used to identify sites with high potential for solar farms in the cities of Tabaco and Ligao and the municipality of Daraga. Applying the exclusion and suitability criteria, sites with high potential for solar farms in the province of Albay are shown in the map. Specifically, I'm going to share the potential solar PV site in Legazpi City. Flash on the screen is the map where we can see that the site can accommodate approximately 14 megawatts of solar PV. This is in Legazpi, particularly in Lot 5-B2-2. If I'm not mistaken, this is the Legazpi City Sanitary Landfill. Yes. The site can accommodate 14 megawatts of solar PV. As an illustration, 1 megawatt solar farm in Barangay Hacienda, Tabaco City, Albay. Its current land use is agricultural with available land area of 2.5 hectares or 7 hectares if adjoining lots are included. Average global horizontal irradiance is 5.0 kilowatt per hour per square meter per day. So, this is the output of the techno-economic analysis using the NREL System Advisor model. We can see some figures, very important figures, such as annual AC energy in year 1, amounting to 1,511,756 kilowatt per hour. Basically, this 1 megawatt solar farm has its key metrics, such as the DC capacity, number of 500 watts solar panel modules, 2,002 panels, land area requirement 1.56 hectares, number of 100 kilowatt inverters 8, AC capacity 800 kilowatts, annual AC energy production for the first year is estimated to be 1,512 megawatts per hour, power purchase agreement price 4.5 pesos per kilowatt hour, and its capital cost is 58.3 million with an internal rate of return of 9%. So we already did the financial analysis. As for the analysis of potential solar farms in San Miguel Island, Tabaco City, Albay, here is the output of the techno-economic analysis using NREL System Advisor model. So we have 4 locations. Location 1 at Hacienda San Miguel. Location 2 is at Malictay San Miguel. Location 3 is the same, Hacienda San Miguel Island. And location 4, Malictay San Miguel Island. Some very important numbers are already flashed on the screen. Capital cost, 261.7 million for location 1. For location 2, 55.7 million. For location 3, 110.8 million. And for location 4, 151.1 million. And I would like to stress that the internal rate of return for the 4 locations are already shown. For location 1, 9%. For location 2, 9.14%. For location 3, 9.56%. And for location 4, 9.61%. I think for the investors, this is a good number. This is a good number. So the total potential capacity across all 4 locations is 10 megawatts DC. And for AC, 7.9 megawatts. So what are the next steps for the investor or developer? Number 1, we will complete the pre-development stage, such as we will validate the suitability of the proposed sites, negotiate for land lease or acquisition, apply for a renewable energy service contract with the Department of Energy, negotiate a power purchase agreement with Aleco, and participate in the next round of DOE's green energy auction if necessary. Number 2, we will proceed to the development stage. Aleco's power supply agreement timeline for RE, a source from Aleco as of 2024 power supply procurement plan, is flashed on the screen. So we can see here the base, the intermediate, the peaking, and intermediate for the renewable energies. So, flash on the screen are the list of potential projects that the provincial government of Albay would like to partner with our investors. So, for the solar, we have the Cagraray District Hospital building, rooftop type, with a potential cap of 0.017. Rapu-Rapu District Hospital building, rooftop, with potential cap of 0.041, Provincial Capitol Building, rooftop, with potential cap of 0.432, Provincial Capitol Annex Building, rooftop type, with potential cap of 0.253, Apsemo Building, rooftop type, with potential cap of 0.316, Tabaco City Hall Building as well, rooftop type, 0.05 potential cap. And for the San Miguel Island, the type is microgrid for the San Miguel Island with a potential cap of 5. For the Puduran Cold Storage, Tabaco Cold Storage, Legazpi City, and Puduran Ground Mounted, it's a utility scale type with potential cap as flashed on the screen. And as for the wind, the possible locations are as follows: Ligao, Puduran, Tabaco, and the Albay Gulf, Legazpi City. And with a type of utility scale, with potential cap for the mentioned locations as flashed on the screen. So in total, the estimated capacity from these potential RE projects is at 1,250.37 megawatts. I think that's all. Thank you.
Alright, ayan po tabi, si Sir Arnold
Good morning,
Rubia,
everyone.
ang sa tuya po na acting provincial development officer sa pagpresentar po kay itong roadmap na inadalan po ninda and itinauduman, ipinailing mga tugang sa mga investors. And after that presentation, mga tugang, nag-identify naman, may mga nag-pledge na. Kaya uminabot po sa 84 billion para po sa 1,250 megawatts na renewable energy. So dahil yung tanan, siring ka mga pigdidiscuss ta ka ito, na dapat ang solar panel mo pirming nakahampang mga tugang sa suro na parte. And sa Albay nga ni, dapat tilted yan ng 13 degrees. Dakulit ang nailing na kung sa inso dalagan kan atop yun, duman man bibugtak. Dako palan yan. Dapat pirming facing south ka dahil yaon dyan mga tugang ang init. So may na-identify na po mga lugar. So halangkaw ang init, ang irradiance na pig-apod, tanganing makaharvest po nindakol ang mga solar panels. So yaon po yan sa Daraga, yaon mga tugang sa Ligao, at sa kanya ang mga tugang sa sa San Miguel Island sa Tabaco. So yun po yan tabi adi. Taon-taon, pagbalik mi, ipadangog ta ang mga pahayag mga tugang ni Sir Ian Rivera, kang Philippine Movement for Climate Justice, mga tugang, may kinaraman yan sa pangangaipon na talaga na mag-shift kita from fossil fuels or coal, pasiring po mga tugang sa renewable energy sa wind, solar, hydro, asin po ini pong pigapo niya itong geothermal. So yan po tabi ang sa tuya po na ipapadangog pagbalik mi After some commercials, mga tugang, itatawag sa inyo si Sir Ian Rivera, ang National Coordinator of the Philippine Movement for Climate Justice. Okay? Mga tugang, we will be back. Ang mga bareta pong nadawag nindo, katudyang kan mga minasunod.
Ang mga baretang ini hatod sa Indo kan mga minasunod.
Plemex for Kids. Mommies, agapan agad ang ubo at plemang nakabara. Pambatang lagundi. Plemex!
Liver Aid Silimarine Capsule. Liver Aid. It's liver or lover, boys. Mega One. Ang Mega One ay may 21 sangkap para matulungan ka sa iba't ibang karamdaman tulad ng diabetes, high blood, stroke, arthritis, kidney failure, cancer, viruses, at iba pa. Tumawag kay Doc Joy Bitito sa 0998-975-8121 or 0917-853-8933.
Kaming magtutropa, laging ganado. Sa trabaho,
Ganado!
Sa pamilya,
Ganado!
At syempre, kapag good times,
Ganado!
Ang mga selebrasyon kasama ang tropa, walang katulad basta may moderation, healthy lifestyle at Liver Aid. Ang Liver Aid ay may silimarin na maaring makatulong sa kalusugan ng atay. Araw-araw kaming umiinom ng Liver Aid dahil kami ay ganado sa kalusugan! Liver Aid, it's liver lover, boys! Mahalagang paalala, ang Liver Aid ay hindi gamot at hindi dapat gamiting paggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit. Tulong proteksyon at pampalakas sa kalusugan ng atay. Liver Aid Silimarin Capsule. Mabibili sa mga leading drugstores nationwide.
Inihahatod sa inyo kan Department of Environment and Natural Resources, Regional Office No. 5, ang programang Kapalibutan Ta at Tamanon Ta. Kapalibutan Ta at Tamanon Ta. Programang magtataunin informasyon asin kaaraman, manangod sa satuyang kapalibutan, asin sa mandato kan Department of Environment and Natural Resources. Sa tunghinanyugon, kada Huwebes alas 11 sagkod alas 12 nin pagkaudto, Kapalibutan Ta at Tamanon Ta. Hatod sa inyo kang DENR Regional Office 5 asin kan istasyon na ini.
Mahigos, makinabang, madali mandulukan. Dako lang napatunayan sa tuyang namatean. Nagpadagos ang serbisyo na pinunan. Mabuluson ang burabot, min kauswagan. Serbisyong may puso yan. J-E-S-A-P, Jazzy Jessup Salceda. Si J-E-S-A-P, Jazzy Jessup Salceda. Si J-E-S-A-P, Jazzy Jessup Salceda. Si J-E-S-A-P, Jazzy Jessup Salceda. Jazzy Jessup Salceda. Jazzy Jessup Salceda.
At talagang tuwang-tuwa ka pa sa pagligo sa alulod, ha? Umuwi ka ngang bata ka at maligo.
Maghugas ka ng maigi, ha? Galing ka pa sa bukid,
Hugasan mo yung kutsara bago mo gamitin. Baka naihian niya ng daga.
Walang pinipiling lugar ang leptospirosis. Sa school, sa daan, kahit pa sa iyong tahanan. Maglinis, magmasid, mag-ingat. Labanan ng leptospirosis. Kung may posibleng exposure, konsultayo sa pinakamalapit na health facility. Para sa libreng konsulta at reseta, tumawag sa DOH Hotline 1555, press 2.
Gloria, ang kailangan ng bayan sa segundo distrito tungo sa pagbabago. Merong kalinga ni Gloria, kalinga ng masa. Si Kaloy Andes Gloria, mahal ka ng masa. Tunay na albayano sa segundo distrito, ang tunay na pagbabago. Kaloy Andes Gloria.
Mommy and Daddy, back to school na ba ang inyong chikiting? Sa pagbabalik ng school-based immunization ng DOH, katuwang ang DepEd at local government units, siguruhing sila ay protektado laban sa mga vaccine-preventable diseases. Makilahok at makipag-ugnayan sa kanilang mga paaralan, and together, let's protect the future of our children. Be wise, immunize! Isang paalala mula sa inyong DOH Bicol Center for Health Development.
Ubo, plemang nakabara, hirap sa paghinga. Dapat may dalang ginhawa. Kaya lagi kong bitbit, Plemex Forte Capsule. Ang Plemex Forte Capsule ay gawa sa halamang lagundi. Ginhawa sa ubo at hika. Magaan dalhin, madaling inumin. Plemex Forte Capsule. Basta lagundi, Plemex. Vitex Nagundo L is the generic name of Plemex Forte. If symptoms persist, consult your doctor. Tanggal ang plema, tigil ang ubo. Maluwag ang paghinga sa Plemex Forte. Basta lagundi, Plemex! Ang Plemex Forte Lagundi Capsule ay mabibili sa pangunahing butika o drugstore na malapit sa inyo.
Protektahan ang inyong PhilHealth Fund.
Huwag ipahiram ang PhilHealth ID o MDR. Huwag ipagamit ang PhilHealth membership sa iba. Huwag pipirma sa blankong PhilHealth claim forms. I-report ang mga nag-aalok ng libreng operasyon para sa mga PhilHealth members. Magbayad lamang sa mga PhilHealth accredited collecting agents.
I-report ang anumang gawaing kaduda-duda sa PhilHealth Action Center, Area Code 02-441-7442 o sa pinakamalapit na tanggapan ng PhilHealth sa inyong lugar.
Camille Prats Yambao po. Yan sila Nala at Nolan. Nagkakatuwaan.
Mami, wala na ko ubo.
Good! And what did Mommy give you?
Plemex for kids.
Para sa ubo ng mga anak ko, Plemex for Kids. Gawa sa natural na halamang lagundi. Tinutunaw at pinalalabas ang plema. Ginhawa sa aming pamilya. Plemex for Kids. Ang batang lagundi, Plemex!
Vitex Nagundo L is the generic name of Plemex for kids. If symptoms persist, consult your doctor.
Mommies, agapan agad ang ubo at plemang nakabara. Pambatang lagundi, Plemex!
Mula ng pandemya, maraming nabago sa aming pamumuhay. Maraming naghirap, nagutom at nawala ng trabaho. Ngunit sa panahong iyon, hinikayat kami ni Congressman Fernando Didi Cabredo na pasiglahin ang kultura ng pagtatanim. At sa gayon ay hindi lamang kami aasa sa tulong ng gobyerno at hindi rin kami magutom sa panahon ng krisis.
Ako po si Jennifer Umadto, solo parent, may 6 na anak. Sumali po ako sa proyektong Taranuman ni Congressman Didi Cabredo para po magkaroon po ako ng dagdag na income at magkaroon po ako ng produktibong libangan at masigurado ang sapat na supply ng pagkain sa aming lugar.
Dahil sa pagsisikap namin, nabigyan kami ng garden tools, pananim, skill training, tulad ng bread making, para madagdagan ang aming kaalaman. At nabigyan din kami ng trabaho, mapagkakakitaan.
Bilang member ng Women Planters, kami po ay mapalad na natutulungan sa pagpapagamot sa ospital, pambili ng gamot, pati na rin po burial assistance kung may namatayan sa pamilya.
Nakatanggap rin ng aming mga anak ng educational assistance dahil hangad ni Kong Didi Cabredo na mapagtapos ang aming mga anak sa college para magkaroon sila ng magandang trabaho at kinabukasan.
Super proud po ako dahil nabibigyan ng importansya ang mga kababaihan sa agrikultura.
Hindi sa tercer distrito, maugmaan mga tao sa imong pagserbisyo, Congressman Didi Cabredo. Maski sa inkaman magduman, madaling ranihon maaasahan. Para para siratit sir o driver ka man, estudyante simpleng tao tinatabangan. Kung Didi Cabredo, salamat po sa imong marhay na pagserbisyo. Kung Didi Cabredo, tunay na progresibo ang tercer distrito.
Alright, mga tugang, balik po kita sa programa. Si Father Momoy po dahil makaka-join sa tuya. Nasa, nagmimisa si Father Momoy duman po sa Masinloc sa Zambales. At saka naghihiling, inabot na su oras na, kaya dahil na po siya makahali duman. Ayan, ipangadya mo lang kami, Padre. Alright, mga tugang, nailing ka sa bagos roadmap. Yan, iguana po ni mga identify na mga lugar sa San Miguel Island. May 2 barangay maliktay sa Hacienda. Yeah. Tapos sa mga Banuaan, mga tugang, ayan, Ligao, tapos Daraga, and then Tabaco City, pag-abot po sa Solar. Iguaman digdi sa Legazpi, mga tugang, partikular dyan sa may, ini po na Bangkiruhan, no? So, lugar kang sanitary landfill, no? Igo dyan, dakula man na lugar, mga tugang na pwedeng mag-ibuhan. So, pag-abot sa wind, Yan po tabi ang ang Albay Golf. Pagkatapos yaon man ang Piyuduran, Ligaw, hindi I think Rapo-Rapo isasabay pa yan sa mga pag-aadal. So duman mga tuga, may mga takers na, may mga nag-pledge na 84 billion pesos gabos na na investments para po sa yung pagpagibo ng mga planta ng renewable energy. Now, aram mo po kay Sir Ian Rivera, kung ngata ta kinakaipuhan ta po mga tugang talagang mag-shift sa renewable energy. Nasabi niya nga ini po mga tugang na proyektong ini talagang nagpapahiling nagpapatunay na talagang kaipuhan ta mag-shift sa clean renewables hindi talagang puturo mga tugang sa coal. So dyan sa ginibo pong Albay Renewable Energy and Investment Summit, sabi ni Sir Ian, ini ngaya minademonstrar ng renewable energy future mga tugang iyao na. With the 84 billion pesos na pledge na investments, as in ang 1,250 megawatts na potential capacity, ini ngaya talagang minamarka nin urgency para po sa renewable energy development, lalong-lalo na sa mga negosyo asin sa ekonomiya na sabi nga ni kaya namumroblema po mga tugang dito po sa climate crisis. Okay? So yan, kunin natin si Sir Ian Rivera, mga tugang, para ang Philippine Movement for Climate Justice. Siya po ang National Coordinator gani. VTR roll talita.
Thank you very much, Pao. I would like to give my warm greetings to our distinguished guests present and find time to be here. Mayor Oscar Robert Cristobal, Director Marisa P. Cireso, Mr. Jerry Magbanwa, His Excellency Yang Guliang, of the Minister Counselor of the Embassy of People's Republic of China, and His Excellency Lloyd Cameron, the Economic and Climate Counselor of the Embassy of United Kingdom in the Philippines, and to all the guests and participants, the local government unit officials, not just coming from Albay but from other provinces. Thank you very much for coming to this occasion. So I would like to give thanks to Lydie for giving the broader framework on the need for a just and rapid energy transition. So what we are emphasizing here is not just energy transition, but a just rapid energy transition. While we appreciate the presentation of many speakers of the increase of renewable energy output here in the Philippines, we still have to examine at what scale and scope we still need to strive based on the science that Lydie Nakpil has just mentioned. So there are more than 1,001 why there should be a just energy transition in the Philippines. But given the time, I will share some like 5 or 4 important imperatives. So first is the climate crisis that was discussed by Lydie and the fast closing window of reaching the 1.5. So the 1.5, even though it's being established by science as the possible level that we can not breach, but it's still being challenged right now. The 1.5 and even 1.5 degree average global temperature the Philippines is still not safe by 1.5. No? And I will show you the studies and the science. No? So, I think all of us is familiar. Maybe Minister Cameron familiar with this picture, because this picture appeared in The Guardian. And this picture captures the news of the day. That was October 2018, when the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, a group of more than 2,000 scientists came up with a study, the special report on 1.5, saying that we have 12 years to limit climate change catastrophe. 12 years. No? And that 12 years starts on that report on October 2018. And now we are already 2024 and moving to 2025. So this is an important slide also from the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. And what is important, because from 2018, IPCC report, this second slide emphasizes the world is not on track to 1.5. And this report, it's based on the assessment report 6, released on April 2023. So 2018 and 2023. And the scientists in IPCC are very alarmed, because despite the special report on 1.5, the burning of fossil fuels continue and increasingly continue. No? And that's what alarmed the scientists of the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. This is the World Meteorological Organization to confirm that 2023 smashes global temperature record. So there's the science and there's the evidence. But what is alarming in this report, because the year before that smashes the global heat and warming of the planet. And 2021 also smashes the report of the global warming or the warming of the planet. So every year, we receive this news that the Earth is warming, unprecedented warming. Now, this is to establish, I know that many really has identified the cause of the climate crisis. This is to establish that it's mainly fossil fuels, as also expressed by Lidi. Now, this is a IPCC report on the impact. This is a scenario. If we will reach 1.5, what are the impacts? What are the possible impacts? If we will breach 1.5 or 2 degrees, what are the impacts? And what will be that impacts look like in the Philippines? So I will start with 2%. If at 2 degrees, if we will reach 2 degrees or breach 2 degrees, we will have 99% of our corals will disappear. 99%. And you know, our country is archipelagic. 60% of our population depends on the marine and the fishing resources. 1.5 degree, 70 to 90% of the corals will disappear. And this is another IPCC data that was released 2023. So 2023. And it mentions here, if you can notice, this is what we call a carbon budget. There's a carbon budget for 1.5, and there's a carbon budget for 2 degrees. But if we're going to burn all those budgets beyond 1.5 and 2 degrees, we will end up with more than 3 degrees or beyond 3 degrees. What is important in this figure, you can notice that for 1.5, I will come near. We need a budget that's on the green. We should not consume that budget, the carbon budget that is on the green. But the alarming situation here, if we are going, of all the fossil fuel infrastructures being constructed, we will breach the budget almost, that's almost 200, more than 200 times. And this is a 2023 report from Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. So this is the challenge, why it should be rapid, it should be just. And I congratulate United Kingdom of ending the last coal. Here in the Philippines, we have a coal resurgence because of the high prices of LNG in the market. So many of the energy developers are pushing into coal. And this is really, really bad, considering that the country is vulnerable to climate change. So I will move past. So this is El Nino. So 2023, it was projected that the planet will experience El Nino and will wipe out $3 trillion of world economy. Then here, the Philippines, we experience El Nino. And many of the news reported that as enhanced El Nino. And there's an unprecedented warming heat in many provinces in the Philippines. And there's this IPCC new warming that we need to stop fossil fuels before it's too late. So IPCC in the assessment report 6 emphasized that we should peak the use of fossil fuels by 2025. So in fact, the Philippines, we receive an increasing number of typhoons, and the typhoons, they are getting worse. This is the study that we get, an average of 19 typhoons annually hit our country. Then the damages, the cost of the damages. So it is based in the World Bank Climate and Development Report in 2022. It could reach 7.6% of the gross domestic product by 2030 and 13.6% by 2040. So based from the study of the Philippine Statistics Agency, total damages caused by typhoons within 10-year period up to 2015 is already a staggering 374 billion pesos. This amount is 21.6 times the 2018 gross domestic value. Then the second is the Philippines has a very expensive and unreliable electricity. So this is the news. There are many news that will say that the Filipinos pay more electricity compared to many Asian neighbors, and what the president can do about that. Not only that, the the coal, because our power is run 40% on coal, and by 2050, that 60% will be coal and fossil gas based on the projection. But we experience rotating brownouts, and that's how unreliable the coal-fired power plants. So in Luzon and Visayas, grids were placed on red alert and yellow alert on April 16, 2024. So brownouts are expected as power generators fail to meet the demand amid the forced outages. Then in 2021 to 2022, 27 coal plants had forced outages that lasted more than a month. Even worse, 40% of this came from coal plants less than 10 years old. Outages will only become more frequent as these plants reach retirement age. And there's this push by some energy companies asking for the Energy Regulatory Commission to relax the rules on forced outages. So many communities living near these fossil plants are paying on the cost of externalities of these plants. So there are many communities complaining on the impacts of coal and fossil gas plants. In Batangas City, there's a spike of cardiovascular and respiratory diseases in the 5 barangays hosting the fossil fuel, the fossil gas or the LNG plants in Batangas City. And there's the study of Center for Research on Energy and Clean Air on the air quality and health impacts of coal-fired power plants in the Philippines. So many areas still in the Philippines are unserved, failing the promise of the IPIRA law that was passed out around the year 2000. So an estimate of 11 million Filipinos or 2.4 million households remain without electricity. And the cost of renewables is becoming competitive while imported fossil fuels is very expensive. And this is a study that we've done showing the competitiveness of renewables, the least cost, the levelized cost of electricity. And here, the levelized cost of solar, it's 2.999 pesos per kilowatt hour compared to natural gas or LNG, which is more than 5 pesos per kilowatt hour. So this is the imperative that we are talking. And I said that there are many reasons why there should be a rapid shift on energy transition. The window is closing, and we know that the policy of the government is still expansion of fossil fuels, and we know that because of the high cost of gas in the global market, many of the power developers are going back to coal. And this is very, very sad story considering that we are facing a climate crisis at this unimagined proportion. Thank you very much.
Yan, matugang si Sir Ian Rivera. Matindi pala na di. So, kay po na talaga na mag-shift na sa kunya na di, sa renewable energy. Okay? So, mga tugang, pagbalik mo, kuwanta po ang pahayagman ni Ma'am Rose Quintoray, ang co-chair kan Provincial Local Investment and Incentive Board as in chairperson kan Albay Chamber of Commerce and Industry. May kinarama po sa ining pigtalakay o pigtukar po mga tugang manungod sa renewable energy impact sa business as in sa iba pa po tabi. Okay, mga tugang, oras na to alas 10:41.
An oras hatod sa Indokang.
Plemex for Kids. Mommies, agapan agad ang ubo at plemang nakabara. Pambatang lagundi. Plemex!
Liver Aid Silymarine Capsule. Liver Aid. It's liver or lover, boys.
Oh, padi, nata ka nag-iidali. Uni baga padi, nakagat ki ayam si Nunoy. Maduman kami sa Ravax Animal Bite Treatment Center.
Tama ka padi. Dapat na magpabakuna kung makagat o makamrot ka ki ayam o ikos. Taan rabies, daing bulong. Asin nakakagadan kung di maagapan kitamang pagpapabakuna.
Iyon anggad padi. Kaya maduman kami sa Ravax Animal Bite Treatment Center. Na sigurado ang proteksyon laban sa rabies. Asin pinagkakatiwalaan kan gabos. Sa laog kan lampas 5 taon. Barato asin abot kaya, ta 700 sana. Sigurado ka pa sa kalidad asin serbisyo. O sige na padi, tamado mana kami sa Ravax para mabakunahan na sinunoy ko.
Maging bakunado at siguradong protektado sa Ravax Animal Bite Treatment Center and Medical Clinic. Siguradong alaga ka dito. Available man ang iba pang vaccines. Arog kang tetanus toxoid, flu, pneumonia vaccines, asin iba pa. Ansaing ng clinic bukas, Lunes, Sundo, Sabado, puun alas 8, sagkod alas 5 ng hapon. Ang Ravax Animal Bite Center makukuha sa ground floor kan R&R Suites, W. Vincent Street, Sagnin, Legazpi City, sa Inutan Sana, kan Apek. O mag-apod sa mobile number 0917-104-4591. Ang Ravax Animal Bite Center, Iguaman and Branch, sa Tabaco, sa Inutan Sana, kan Ziga Hospital, asin sa Sorsogon na makukuha sa Barangay Piot, Sorsogon City, sa Hampangan kan Card Bank.
Bukas naman ang pinakabagong branch kan Ravax sa Ligao City na makukuha sa 2nd floor AG Haushan Building, San Lorenzo Street, Gilid, Ligao City. Harani sana sa St. Stephen Protomartyr Parish.
Kito, digdi sa puso ko, madaba kong segundo distrito. Kaito pa perminang nadudulukan, maski wala sa pwesto nagtatabang. Kito Salcedo ko anyaran, kada ko lang naginibuhan. Sa atong kasuro, basta sa pag-asenso, may konkretong mga plano. Asin programa para sa tao, dire-diretso at benepisyo. Tunay na malalaoman na serbisyo ko, ito ang totoo. Nagtatabang na puun baga ito, sinda kita ika ako biko, na matita ang totoong serbisyo. Hanggang ngunyan ako biko lang sa puso ko. Ibang tabang sa turismo asin pag-asenso, may mga scholar na nagkaigwang trabaho. Kadakol na mga naginibo, lalo sa mga para o matius na pamilya pa. Senior citizen asin ka, hobenesan yan. Ang AKP, Ako Bicol.
Ako Bicol Party List. Katabang na, kasurug pa.
Kapag nagkakaedad na, mas importante ang proper lifestyle.
Jogging tayo pa!
Sige nak! Maliwanag ang benepisyo ng tamang pagkain at ehersisyo. Isama pa ang pag-inom ng Optin. May nutrients ng lutein, vitamin C, E at zinc. Parte na ng aking daily regimen.
Ganda talaga ng view dito pa.
Kitang-kita. Mahalagang paalala, ang Optin ay hindi gamot at hindi dapat gamitin panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit. Labanan ang maagang panlalabo ng paningin sa tulong ng Optin. Kitang-kita ang kalusugan. Mabibili sa mga leading drugstores nationwide.
Ang Albay Electric Cooperative Incorporated or ALECO nag-aako na din mga aplikasyon para sa Lifeline Subsidy. Ang mga kwalipikado digdi iyo ang mga Pantawid Pamilyang Pilipino Program or 4Ps beneficiaries asin itong mga marginalized consumers. Para sa mga miyembros kan 4Ps, kaipuhan sa aplikasyonan sa inyong 4Ps ID asin latest bill. Para sa non-4Ps o itong mga marginalized consumers, ang mga requirements iyo ang mga minasunod. Certification halay sa Social Welfare and Development Office sa saindong syudad o munisipyo na nagpapatunay na ang aplikante sa rong low-income earner base sa latest poverty threshold na ipigmok na kan Philippine Statistics Authority government-issued ID asin latest bill. Pagirumdom na ang diskwentong ini automatikong ia-apply sa monthly consumption kan mga kwalipikadong aplikante na day mahalangkaw sa 25 kilowatt hours. Ipasa ang mga nasabing requirements kasabay ang accomplished application form sa ALECO Service and Collection Office sa indong lugar. Kung kwalipikado ka, dai na magduwa-duwa. I-avail na ang subsidiyang ini ka-ALECO.
Gloria, ikaw ang aming pag-asa. Maka-Diyos, maka-tao, hindi tayo pababayaan. Kung tayo ay magkakaisa, may pag-asang magbago pa. Sa tulong ni Kaloy Gloria, sigurado una ang masa. Tunay na albayano,
Realize true comfort and relaxation at Dorotea Resort and Spa, a perfect venue for family outings, couple retreats, and various functions such as weddings, birthday parties, corporate seminars, and conferences. Dorotea Resort and Spa. We have backpackers rooms, standard rooms, deluxe, suite, and a penthouse. Also, relax and rejuvenate with our spa's invigorating treatments, services, and facilities. Dorotea Resort and Spa. Kahugutan, Bakakay, Albay. For reservation, contact us at
0917-777-5734.
Find us on Facebook, Dorotea Resort and Spa. Relax, rejuvenate, and enjoy. Only here at Dorotea Resort and Spa.
Thank you kong Joey Salceda, habang sa agrikultura, turismo, infrastruktura, financial tabang medikal. Thank you kong Joey Salceda. Buhay natin mas sumasaya, pag si Joey ang kaiba. Daig natin ang pangangamba, kong Joey Salceda. Highest rating approval, ang sa tuyang congressman. Albay ahead ang atang lahat, kong Joey Salceda. Albay ahead ang at lahat, oh. Albay ahead ang at lahat, oh. Kong Joey Salceda.
Alright, mga tugang, balik po si Papa Mar. Dito po sa Boss ng Palibutan. 10 minutes bago po alas 11 nin pagka udto. And then, yan po, ang sa panigmang kang mga negosyante, ang sabi po mga tugang ni Ma'am Rose Quinto-Ray, ang co-chair kang Provincial Local Investment and Incentive Board, as in chairperson kan Albay Chamber of Commerce and Industry, na sinda komitido para po sa Sustainable Energy Future. Actually, igwa na silang partnership with the Tennessee Renewable Energy as in Economic Development Council, and together with the Department of Energy, ang ACCI, nangangapudan mga tugang para po sa long-term solution kan problema niya to sa power. Ayan, okay? So, dangagunta po ang maikling pahayag lang ni Ma'am Rose Marie Quinto-Ray.
So, this very good endeavor of the good governor of Albay is something that we have to fight for, because this is something that will help us a lot. Imagine 100% RE in the coming years. It's something new. I have talked to one from Baguio, and he was really impressed that we have this kind of energy summit. So, we would like to request the government officials or the good governor to institutionalize this kind of endeavor, because it will be useless. It will be useless talking about these things if the political stability is unstable. Thank you.
Okay, yun kailangan talagang legislation na. Duwan na kita, pasiring kita duwan, di ba? After na nag-ururo na, ayan, it's now the ball now, mga tugang naon sa Sangguniang Panlalawigan to institutionalize. At tanganing, tama ito si Ma'am Rose Ray, because of the instability mga tugang kang politika, baka kung yan, may magtukaw ng iba, hinali na so mga presenteng pinagigibo para sa renewable energy. So yan ang medyo dyan. Pero kung mayroong batas, may ordinansa, na nagsasabing ituloy ini kang Albay, abay, maski siya magtukaw po dyan, obligado po sinda mga tugang na ipautubyan because they are mandated mga tugang kan batas. Okay? Yan. Mga kababayan natin, mga taga Santo Domingo, happy Fiesta Tabi in advance para sa aga. Kumusta si Miss Jenny? Nakaluwas na ba si Miss Jenny sa ospital? Wala akong balita. Dyan po mga tugang na hapon may parada. So para duman sa mga nagbabiyahe, mapasiring sa Misibis, mapasiring sa Santo Domingo, sarado po ang tinampo. Poon alas 12 ng udto, hali dyan mga tugang sa may Rags gas station. So kung mapasiring ka mo duman sa Misibis, you will take mga tugang di pagabot dyan sa may Rags, matuo ka mo para duman ka mo mag-agi sa Sarong Bangi Boulevard Road. Yan, mabalda duman sa may Barangay San Vicente, and then turn right para po pasiring na kamuduman mga tugang sa kunyan. sa Misibis. Ayaw. Now, sumapa sentro man, o hanggang duman sa nanay yan, mga to, pwede man umagi, so mga biyaheng Santo Domingo, hanggang dumana sa nakamuman kan sa may Boulevard. O, pag alas 2, ukuparaw na po yan kan mga biyahe, kan mga kang maparada. Yan pong pigagian ta dyan, so prosesyonan baga, hanggang duman sa may gym. San Vicente, San Juan, ayan po, mga agian po yan. Okay? So, kung halimbawa mapatabako ka, na nag-agi ka Santo Domingo, pagabot sa may Campo Santo, ayan, pagabot sa may Campo Santo, may pawala dyan na tinampo itong pig-abod ming Todos Los Santos Road. Mabalda po yan mga tugang, duman sa may ano yan, sa may Santo Niño, then diretso sa may San Roque, itong pig-apod na to na ano yan, yung Santo Niño Road, hanggang naman sa FM Flor Street. Yan po, tabi, temporarily, mga tugang na kunyan po yan, sarado. Kaya naman sa mga kababayan ta, yan po ang mga agihan, pwede ka mong umagi naman sa diversyon na sana. Di ba? Pasiring sa hanggang sa San Roque, sarado po yan dyan. Hanggang dyan mga tugang garumarilin niya, labi sa gatos na contingentan maparada. Mario safe. Yan po tabi para naman sa mga kababayan na to. Alright? Okay, iyo yan. Mga tugang, ito yan pong presentasyon ng programa ko dyan. Pasensya na po, di natin nakasama si Padre Momoy. May hiling mas mga tugang si Padre Momoy duman po sa Masinlok sa Zambales. No? Okay, ano John, maparang nako? Babay na? Babay na kita? Para na patabi kita mga tugang, tanganing maka-start man sa tamang oras mga tugang. Ito yung Legally Yours with Attorney Tin Longabella at saka si Kuya Mike Dado. Sa ito ba ko sa pangalan po ni Junapolis Solado Technical, siring mana si Chief Ramir Tanay, na yun nagpara si Irip kang video. Siring man nag-edit mga tugang video si Jerome Nico Martinez, para pumahiling kita sa YouTube, sa Facebook, asin madangong sa DisGB Live app. Si Jerome Nico Martinez po, so yung IT ang responsable kaya. Ito ka boss, thank you very much. Babalik po ako dyan mamaya 12 to 12:30 para po sa Bareta alas 12. Bye-bye.
Sa indung nadangog ang programa Boses kan Kapalibutan. Abangan giraray sa masunod na Sabado. Digdi sa DZGB. Salamat kan sa indung pagantabay.